Despite being higher in sugar than fruits like fresh cranberries or raspberries, whole cherries are really very low on the glycemic index. They've been shown to improve blood sugar for those with diabetes and can be eaten with whole grains or nuts and seeds to lower the glycemic spike even more. Cherries have also been shown to reduce belly fat due to the way they lower inflammation. Their specific antioxidant compounds are also directly linked to a lower waistline. Though tart cherry juice and dried cherries are often recommended, be sure to choose whole food cherries when you can, since dried and juice forms are always higher in sugar. When it comes to sleep, it's also important to go for the whole natural fruit. Cherries are also one of the best foods to promote melatonin production in the body. This hormone is necessary for not just sending you to sleep, but also helping you stay asleep and wake up around the same time each day. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Thank you, Kathy Isom. 15 minutes before 12 o'clock. It's raining out there. The temperature has dropped a little bit. 79 degrees right now here at the Paddock Mall, and looks like the rain is going to be with us not just today, but for a few more days this week, right?
Yeah.
So whatever it is you put away for a rainy day, you can do it. Hey, this weekend I'm going to go see Mamma Mia Part 2.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Cher is a silver-haired lady. I don't know if you call it blonde or not, but white-haired lady, right?
Yeah.
And it's time for our midday chat with Joe. Hey, Joe.
You better say blonde. She's very vague. Vain. Cher is vain.
Both might be true. That might be true. So do you like musicals in general? Do you like musicals?
In general, I live musicals.
Oh, you do? You like in the theater, like in
I like to hear the orchestra. I like to see them. I like to hear what movies?
I like. Go ahead. And I didn't think I would. Was Shrek?
Shrek. Yeah.
Shrek. That was fabulous.
That was a good one.
I enjoy it more seeing people sing and everything than seeing somebody in the movies walk through the door and say, "How was your day?" It's a beautiful day in the sun. And how's the weather out? On a clear day, I can see for it. No, it just doesn't fit. But on stage, it's kind of, I don't know, different atmosphere.
So what is the thinking behind the director who puts somebody who doesn't sing into a singing role? Why do they do that?
That's a good question.
Like Pierce Brosnan, why did they put him in a singing role?
And the rest of us have to suffer through it. It's wrong. I think it's wrong on a lot of levels that they should put a non-singer singer. It's like, it's like putting me singing opera. It doesn't work.
It's almost like putting a non-actor who's a famous singer, let's say, into a movie as an actor.
Well, they've done that
too. They can
too.
work around that, though, quite a bit.
But don't you see right through it? I mean...
Not really.
Was Elvis a good actor?
Yes.
Was he? Was Marilyn Monroe a good actress?
Yes.
Was she? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I learned yesterday? Where the subway grate is in New York City.
The subway grate?
Yeah, the one that blows up Marilyn Monroe's skirt.
Really? Really? We're not going there.
So we've walked over that.
Oh, there was actually one there?
Yeah.
They didn't do that shot in Hollywood?
No.
With a fan underneath blowing it up?
Well, that I don't know if they put a fan.
I thought they did that in Hollywood.
The grate is in New York City.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, we
back
found
then, in those days, they would recreate the subways and everything in Hollywood.
Right.
So the trains.
But that shot was taken, and now they might have put a fan into the grate. I don't know.
Oh, logically, yeah.
I mean, there is wind that blows up out of those subway grates.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. And her dress was chiffon, so that it wouldn't take much to blow it up.
Apparently.
Her chiffon. But they had a picture of photographers and everything right there photographing her.
Lexington and 52nd?
Neat.
Was that at Lexington and 52nd?
I think so.
I think that's where it was.
What it was, yeah. It was pretty neat.
In the city,
I didn't realize.
In Manhattan.
Because I remember, and I think I'm 99% sure it's all defunct now, but the studios in Hollywood used to be able to go to the back lots and see the sets that were used. And you walk in, and they had the subways there, and as though like Grand Central Station was built in Hollywood, for the movies.
Right.
But over the years, it got all defunct and all, and they finally demolished it. I think they're all gone. There might be one or two left, but the remnants of
like a museum.
Yeah, like a museum, the way Hollywood used to. Now they just go to the place and film it. Whatever it is, 90% of the time, unless you're doing the White House or something like that.
The house that was used not for the interior, but for the exterior of the TV show Full House.
Full House
In San Francisco?
Was where?
In San Francisco somewhere, but the officials have banned tour buses from going to the Full House home. Neighbors complaining too many people showing
Yeah,
up.
1,900 people a day, they said, would go to that.
Full House.
In front of that, yeah.
What is that? Is that the one
Yeah.
with the two little twins?
Mary
Twins,
Kate and
yeah.
Ashley Olsen.
That are how old now? 32? Who knows how
Yeah,
old?
probably.
Probably, who knows? But,
Wow, it's decades ago.
It's funny how we like to find places that show up in movies, right?
well, like,
Yeah.
what's it? Elvis Presley. Grace, whatever you call that place where he lived?
Graceland.
Graceland, yeah. You can't.
Have you ever been?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's it like? Did you go out to his grave?
Yeah. It's in the house, in the backyard.
Oh, it's in the backyard?
They moved everything to the backyard.
Moved it? It was inside for a while?
No, it was outside someplace else.
Oh, okay.
In a cemetery, and they were worried about thieves.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
all-
yeah.
So his mom, his dad,
His
his
brother.
mom, his dad, his twin brother who died at birth. They're all boom, boom, boom right there.
Wow.
Yeah, right by the, not too far from the swimming pool, quote unquote. But it's all, has nice.
Really?
It's very well done. It's got the wrought iron fence around it and everything. But I didn't notice you can actually rent the grounds in the back and everything for parties and what have you.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it would
nice.
cost, but you can rent it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Not the house. You can't do it in the house, but
Oh, but the outside
But-
you could.
second and third floors are off limits. You can't go up there.
Were you a big Elvis fan?
Yes.
Is that where you went? Oh.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons, curiosity to see it.
Yeah.
But at the time, his aunt was living on the second floor, I think, when we went there.
Oh, really?
And she lived there till she passed on. But they took his bedroom that was on the second floor, and they recreated it, put it back in the basement. So you walk through this little hallway kind of thing through the doorway out of the kitchen, and you go downstairs, and you see his round, big white bed that he had and everything, and then you walk out the basement and then go into the yard and see his racket court back that he had in the back there, and basically everything that was, you can see it was there, but they have all his memorabilia
Wow.
all over the place.
Didn't he
It was
have a
something
movie theater? Did he have a movie theater in his house?
I don't recall.
That's what I would have.
But they had the room with the waterfall in it, and they had one room that had like 3 TVs in there. And it was for its time. It was the shag room, all rug, ceiling floor.
Wow.
That had there. Of course, when we went there, his horse was still alive. Because he had a little pony, and the horse, I guess, was still waiting for him to come. He was still alive back then. Probably
man.
gone now, but
Wow.
we went to see it. But it was
Something.
interesting.
Yeah, that was one thing Elvis
2 or 3
didn't
hours.
like.
Huh?
That's one thing he didn't like,
What?
being a little horse.
He wasn't. He wasn't a little horse. He was never a little horse. He never lost his voice like
He might have
Sinatra
been
did.
once in a while.
No,
Once in a while, he had to be a little horse.
never. I'm trying to steer him away from this. I'm having a hard time. But it was very interesting. Both his jets or his planes were there.
Oh,
across
they
the
are?
street.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a museum across the street from Graceland. That's where you go buy your tickets and everything. Then they give you a little, they call it a jitney or a little bus that would take you across. You can't drive on the property. The gates
Oh.
open for just the tourists.
Oh,
So, and you have the little
okay.
headsets to put on, you talk.
Oh,
and-
isn't that
and-
nice?
And nothing is, well, a lot of it's behind glass, but a lot of it's not behind glass. They have these rails so you can actually look at some of the stuff. But if you lean too far, you break a light beam. And it says, please step back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my
Really?
gosh, how
Yeah.
cool is that?
So,
Wow.
you're leaning too close. Please step back. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was just doing it for the heck of it, just to listen to the recording.
Oh, wow.
You put little
nice.
headphones
I'm
on.
sure a
You
lot
walk,
of people do that.
yeah, and you walk around and you hear all the things, and his army uniforms are there, all the stuff. First, what you call it, snowmobile. Oh, that was a death trap.
Really?
Really?
There's no guards on it or anything. It was just trail and a
Oh,
steel
really?
seat. But what really impressed me was back then he took a lot of home movies.
Oh.
So you seen what the neighborhood was like before all people moved into it. It was all woods and everything when he first got
really?
out there.
Really?
That was the ghetto kind of thing.
I didn't realize
It's
that.
run down and everything. Yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you got across the street. You got the museum where it's the pink Cadillac and all that there, and then they got the Heartbreak Hotel, an actual hotel where you can stay if you want. Small campground if you want to stay there, and then you just walk across the street and drive across the street.
Is there a story behind the name Graceland?
Probably is, but I don't know what it is.
Just wonder what it means.
He bought that for his mom way back when.
He did.
Yeah.
He didn't intend to live there?
Oh, yeah, he intended to live there.
Oh,
but
I see.
For the family, I should say. For the
Right,
family.
right.
So that's what I understand. Yeah.
Did he get along with his dad at all? I didn't
Yeah,
know
I
much
think
about
so.
his dad.
Yeah, he's
you don't
it's
hear
more his
much
mom.
about that.
More of his mom. He's a mama's boy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I spoke to a lady that worked at a radio station in Memphis, I guess it was, and she was pregnant, and she worked there at night, and he used to come visit her. He would dress all in black. And a black motorcycle, and he would drive around the back, come off, and just walk in there and just talk to her.
Oh, really?
Under
wow.
the radar, yeah. People didn't know he was there or whatever.
Wow,
kind
how
of thing.
cool is that?
Yeah, she was. I said, pictures? No, we never took pictures. They become neighbors or friends.
Right,
you never
right.
think of taking pictures.
Right,
right.
right.
So.
Come to think of it, I don't have a picture of me and you dancing together. I don't have
We
one.
never danced, that's why.
You and Susan Smith cut the rug from Hawthorne Village.
Yeah. We got
Yeah, that was,
What?
she was a
Hawthorne
lot
Village?
of
What?
fun.
What?
Yeah.
Susan.
You and Susan Smith for Hawthorne Village when they had the groundbreaking and
Oh, that's
stuff.
way back
That
when.
was a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to
a lot
Susan.
of
She's
fun.
wherever she is. Yeah.
I think she moved to Tampa. I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think
A
so.
little bit of a drive, yeah.
So that's kind of
But
cool.
Do we have a
Isn't it-
topic today, or we just throw in the bowl?
I have a topic, actually. If
Well,
you
how
want
much
to do
time
it.
do we have? A minute?
We have 4 minutes.
Okay.
The topic is from a guest we had this one. The guest sent us these cards, and these cards are supposed to stimulate conversation.
Whew, I'm glad it was conversation.
So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to stimulate conversation. Hey, there's a bug. You know that bug has 4 legs. Go ahead.
Tell me about a time when you were proud of an accomplishment.
I bought the radio station.
That is pretty
That's
cool.
an easy one. Next.
That's no,
And you
that's
were
pretty
you were especially
amazing.
proud because it came with Robin and Larry, right?
Oh, that was how I knew you before you knew I knew you.
How did
Both of you.
How did you know us?
I came down here before I bought the station.
And
I was listening and watching and I oh yeah. And you and that little puppet on your shoulder way back when. I don't think I seen all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Now you know.
What is the most beautiful place you have ever visited? Most beautiful place
There's 2.
you've ever visited.
There's 2. I only have one.
Well, you can name both of them.
Okay, it's Great Smoky Mountains.
That's a
That
pretty
is
big
beautiful.
place. That is.
Oh, you asked.
No,
That is beautiful.
And Hawaii.
Ooh, I bet that was really
Those
beautiful.
are the 2 most beautiful places I've seen. Rolling Hills in Connecticut are nice, but beautiful. Yeah, Great Smoky Mountains. Because you could drive along the Blue Ridge Parkway and stop about almost anywhere along there, and you'd look out there and you go, look what God did.
Yeah, that is
And
breathtaking.
and we went over, there's I think it's 441 that goes over the top from Cherokee, North Carolina, over the top, and it goes into Tennessee on the other side. But at one stop right there through the gorge, and I think President Roosevelt, there's a plaque with him, picture of him and everything.
Oh,
out there.
my.
And you're right on the line, and then you look out, and it's like, oh, yeah. And then
Oh, my
especially if
gosh.
you get, like, I call it fog. They call it Smoky Mountains because it's smoke, but it's just unbelievable.
but that was outstanding.
It was. Yeah, many times
Wow.
we were over the top with the motorcycle.
Gosh.
Went with the car a couple of times because there was ice on top and not. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we went with the
gosh.
motorcycle and we were at the bottom and we're putting on jackets and everything. Everybody's looking at, why are you putting on jackets? And when you go to the top, it was cold. And you come down the other side, take the jackets off.
Nice.
So that's next question.
if you could go back in time, or
What?
at least speak to your 10-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, I would say start investing in.
There you go.
That's what I would start investing in.
And what would that thing be?
I don't
Monster
know.
drinks?
No,
Monster
Microsoft,
drinks.
10 years ago, Microsoft.
Monster drinks is what made the most money, though.
Oh, really? Monster drinks.
Yeah.
So I got to remember. Look up Larry and he'll tell you monster drinks, right?
No, we had it as a topic one morning.
Oh, okay. So then I'll already know that.
We got
right?
40 seconds, sir.
40 seconds. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed Veterans News this morning. All the guests, Larry and Robin, have on AM Ocala Live. Please pass the word that you are listening to WOCA Ocala and that you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, call me and we'll see what we can do for you. And I'll holler at Larry and Robin. This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee have voted down the Democrats' move to subpoena the interpreter with President Trump during his private meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin Monday. Top House Democrat Nancy Pelosi says
President Trump obviously seemed frightened in the presence of Putin. What was he afraid of? What is Putin blackmailing President Trump with?
The president tells CBS News he did bring up Russian election meddling with Putin privately and told him it has to stop. Asked who he'd like to run against in 2020, President Trump says,
I dream about Biden. That's a dream. Look, Joe Biden ran 3 times. He never got more than 1%. And President Obama took him out of the garbage heap, and everybody was shocked that he did. I'd love to have it be Biden.
The former vice president says he'll decide by January if he'll run. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Ever wonder why Miller High Life is called the champagne of beers? Because it's a flavorful, easy-drinking beer with a perfect storm of tiny champagne-like bubbles. And it's been that way since 1903.
If you've got the time,
welcome to the High Life.
We've got the beer, Miller Beer.
2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Drink High Life responsibly.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
Council. In the good old summertime, it takes you back, doesn't it? Makes you think and remember. What did you do in the summertime when you were a kid? At Palm Garden of Ocala, we see folks who are young at heart, but their bodies are giving them a tough time. Our goal for every guest we serve is to bring them to their highest level of independence. Come visit us soon. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street. And when you're in the hospital, ask for Palm Garden by name.
Here is your 1-minute news brief from the source. WOCA. Ocala police have arrested a 17-year-old accused of shooting and killing a 54-year-old man in the Parkside Garden Apartments Tuesday night. A federal appeals court will hear arguments in a Florida lawsuit seeking disclosure of FBI files that might uncover a U.S.-based support network for some of the 9/11 hijackers. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket company shot a capsule higher into space yesterday than it's ever done before. The New Shepard lifted the spacecraft to an altitude of 74 miles. A former aerial dancer at Walt Disney World has sued the resort alleging gender discrimination, saying she was fired after she became pregnant and went on an 11-month leave. A Florida man is scheduled to be executed August 14th for the 1992 murder of a woman who caught him burglarizing her apartment, and a Florida mayor must apologize to a couple fined thousands of dollars for having their home's exterior painted like Van Gogh's Starry Night. And that is your news brief from the source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front-end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Repticon presents Rep Today, the one-day reptile event in Gainesville, August 11th. It'll be at the Wyndham Garden at 2900 Southwest 13th Street. Call 863-268-4273 or go to Repticon.com for more information and to buy tickets. This may not be Jurassic Park, but you will be able to have live animal encounters and see thousands of reptiles and other exotic animals. August 11th, Wyndham Garden, Gainesville, because kids of all ages love reptiles. Rep Today. Ready for a caring and compassionate career? Home Instead